We home. We actually have some lighting. I am very, very pleased to announce. So, I'm gonna get my buggy. Lighting here, lighting there. Nothing at the bus stop though. And there was some kind of terrible accident the other day. When I was working, apparently, on Sunday, somebody ran into the light pole. There was a bumper on the ground, and the light pole is at a good 45-degree angle. So I'm not sure if the driver is okay. I hope so. But yeah, I was pretty tired and almost missed my stop. And when I got off, I told the bus driver, I'm sorry, I'm working bus driver out. If you knew what I meant. They work like 10, 12-hour shifts, sometimes 14. So, I got to work early today because I like to pick up a few incidentals if I need. And, my allergies have just been really bad. And if you've seen the video of Spotty slobbering all over me, you'll know why. Plus, we have like a Texas spring going here anyways. So, we could use some lighting there. Okay. And the other bus kept going, so that's good. So I got to work and got my buggy and had a plan. I was gonna get this and that, and I got some cough drops and some probiotics, just because I think probiotics are important. And some of those cheap mucus pills, just to like get everything out of my sinuses. And the lighting is much better now. Yeah, that is nice. So tomorrow night I'll send my dad a picture. I like that. So I going down one of the aisles, main aisle in the store. We have names for the aisles, the bowling alley, the action alley, that kind of thing. And so one of the alleys basically. And the coach comes by, and there are a lot of team leads who directly supervise the associates. Above them are the coaches. My coach has a reputation of being difficult. She actually told me I wasn't allowed to bring candy to share with my friends anymore. So I saw her and she said, "Oh, you're here. Clock in now." I'm like, okay, I wasn't supposed to start for 2 hours, but I'm not going to argue. I got some good money tonight, that's for sure. And so I and I said, okay. I said, but I have a confession to make. She's like, what? And I said, and I just came on with very strong remorse and kind of hamming it up a little. And I said, I'm sorry. And she said, what? I said, I'm sorry, I was disobedient. And she was like, what? Heather, what did you do? And I took my backpack off and I showed her we'll call it a 3-pound bag of candy. And I said, I know you don't want me to bring it. And she said, no, I don't. I said, but they're it's really busy and could we use a treat? And she said, oh. I said, can I have a bag in my vest? And she said, yes. So that's what I did today, and my friends were thrilled. So, and I wasn't going to get in trouble for it either, because I specifically asked permission. And I'm seeing, so they're doing work on the water stuff. I guess I'm next. Which means, tired as I am, I'm probably going to have to take a shower when I get home. So, I already done laundry though. So, I might make my protein shake too because, for obvious reasons when you're dealing with dairy, you want to rinse that thing once you're done. So, I got my paid for my medicine and clocked in and worked a good shift and went home. And it was interesting the other night when I got home. It was like the Tomcat chorus, so a couple of Tomcats were fighting, and one of them I think was happy, and when I got home, Spotty wanted to go out, and so he did. I didn't hear any cat fighting noises, but he came home, he had like a little scratch on him, on his shoulder, but it looked okay, so I'm not worried. And he'll probably want to go out again tonight. And I guess this thing is related to the water work. Yeah, I'm definitely taking a shower. So, yeah, it's Tuesday night. It's pretty quiet. The way the Metro bus schedule works, I don't believe I'm going to see my drivers tomorrow. It'll be different drivers. But I brought a lot of stuff and handed a lot of it out. And it was very nice to give my Spanish-speaking friend a nice New Testament with Psalms. And a prayer of salvation. I was able to decipher that much. And she was asking about working at Walmart, how much they paid. And she basically said she's having a hard time at her job, so, probably not paying her enough, or enough hours. So I gave her the website, and she, took a picture of it on her phone, so, I wouldn't mind working with her, day to day. She's a good worker. I mean, she's a nice lady, so seems like a very hard worker, because she rides the bus when I do, which means she's working some long days. So, but we'll see. And it's the mockingbird again, telling me God loves me. And I didn't feel well this morning. The allergy sinus thing again, and the cats didn't even sleep with me as far as I know. But I didn't have much appetite. I had a shake, which is good because that gets the protein in there, but I just still battling a little depression, I think. That's never easy. But, just like I use all my tools to serve God, the devil is using all his tools to assail me and try to shut me up. So, and I will absolutely give the testimony about what God has done in my life. I don't preach. I don't say God's going to do this or that to you. I just say this is what God has done for me. And this is what God did for my husband. People love hearing how Ron, well, not that he was run over, but that I got him back for 18 years. So, that's significant. I smelled laundry, fabric softener. Someone's doing laundry. So, my parents, Mom has a chronic illness thing. It doesn't really get her much, but it's been getting her, so I sent her a care package from Walmart. She'll get it tomorrow. I think that'll help a little, At least, it'll let her know someone's thinking, good thoughts. So, but, glad I can do that because, as a caregiver for so many years, and now a child of older parents, you know, I'm going to worry. So, I'm always going to worry. And, I want them to be cared for. But it is nice that I check in with them every night. So they know I'm okay. I know they're okay. So that's important. So, and I had this little pimple thing right there. And it finally went away. Now, when I was about 10 years old, my sister would visit me sometimes, my half-sister, my mother's daughter, my mother's other daughter, basically. Different fathers. And she was much older than me, 16 years, I think. And she would, take me to her church and just try to, indoctrinate me, and it was just not my thing at all. And sometimes she would take me on activities or, let's go to the zoo or whatever. But, why, hello. Yeah, it was a very sleepy bark. So, this day, she sat me down, she was looking at me, and she said, "You have a blackhead." And I'm like, "A what?" And she said, "You have a blackhead in your skin. I have to get it out." And she was adamant that she had to fix this. And she, grabs my face in her fingers, and she starts pinching me. And I'm crying and trying to pull away. And she said, no, I have to get it. I'm like, "Please leave me alone." And, she finally took me home. And my face is all red, and I'm crying. My face is red from where she was manhandling me. And I was crying. And my mom was like, my adopted mom was like, "What did she do to you?" And I told her. And she said, well, and she looked at me, she said, "Yeah, you have a small blackhead, but it's no big deal." She said, "You have oily skin like your dad." Big surprise. So she said, "Your skin is going to age really well like your dad's. And, that's a good thing." She said, "But you're probably going to have acne, as you get older." And I did. And I don't know what she said to my sister, but she never touched my face again. So that was good. And I had terrible, terrible acne my whole teenage years, and they gave me Retin-A for a while, but it made my skin peel, and it's just very bad. And I used to get acne soap in my stocking at Christmas, and it would help some. It had the salicylic acid in it, and I would use Seabreeze and stuff like that. So. But I just had ongoing problems in my 20s with Ron, and but the nice thing about Ron was he didn't care if I had a pimple. So I finally read a book on nutrition by Adele Davis, and she said low vitamin A can lead to acne. And I started taking vitamin A supplements, and lo and behold, the acne went away. So I guess my vitamin A was a little low. But I was debating whether I needed to change my facial soap. I just generally, for many, many years, I had to use a acne soap. And I did that up until about 7 years ago when it started drying out my skin. And now I just use a Dove bar or just regular bar soap, and that does the trick for my skin. I think, at least. I'm happy. But I think getting all the protein and some vitamins and vitamin E and stuff is good. But if I hadn't spent my HSA money on the probiotics, I probably would have spent it on vitamin E. I'm a big fan of that too. But I do have acne scarring, you can see, but it doesn't bother me, I'm okay with that. I've been through a lot in my life, so, it's to be expected that I have a little obvious damage, but I'm just glad it's healed. So I need to remember to take the trash out. I'm going to do that. before I unlock the door, I think. And take my shower and make the protein shake and figure out dinner. I don't want to get a headache, and I want something good. I don't know what that is, so I'll figure it out. But I'm at the mailbox now, and they fixed the street light, so you'll actually be able to see me up in the mailbox. I don't think I'm getting anything today, but I could be wrong. Now, last night I woke up. I went to bed early because I was depressed, and I got up around midnight, and I felt like I needed to open my front door, and I did. And I had 2 cases of Bibles, and when I brought them in, I noticed that one of them had been opened, and it wasn't shipping damage. Somebody had pried it open and looked, and I thought that was funny. They didn't take anything. Oh wow, I got a lot of mail in here. Okay. See, Voice of the Murders, a Jim, Church Source. That is not from me. That is a check. Oh, tax return document. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get that in. Number 6 got a tax return document. So that's going to be step number 1. So I'm gonna put all my mail in the buggy. It didn't look like anything urgent, which is good. They don't have a lot of time to do their tax return, and shame on this company, whatever it is, for waiting so long to send this guy his tax return. He has 6 kids. He's got a wife. That's not cool to make him wait so long to get his money. So it looks like the guy across the street got better lighting, which is interesting. Yeah, we're good. I am glad checking behind me, basically checking my surroundings with situational awareness is becoming more ingrained. I think that's very important. So, because some people see this, they see a victim. I have been a victim in the past. I am not a victim anymore. So, if anything happens to me, it's going to be God's will. But I'm going to do whatever I can to protect myself. So, let's see. Oh, look, sandbags. That's how I broke my finger. I tripped on one of those bad boys a couple years ago at Greens Point at Imperial Valley and Greens Road. I haven't hurt 3 times over there. And it was a sandbag the first time. Yeah, I forgot to turn on my porch light. But that's okay, because I'm going to put the buggy on the porch, and then I'm going to go take this and put it on the neighbor's door. He gets up really early, so I'm not going to knock or anything, even though I think this is pretty important for him. And I got a case of Bibles. I'm not sure which one this is. I'll do an unboxing later.